Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. The NFL offseason is always packed with surprises, and this year we have a story that's shaking up not only the NFC South, but the entire league. Rumors are swirling, whispers coming from sources close to the league, and what they're suggesting is nothing short of extraordinary. The Atlanta Falcons are reportedly preparing to make a bold move at quarterback, and it involves none other than Kirk Cousins. Yes, you heard that right. The Falcons are apparently on the verge of trading for Cousins, sending him to the New York Jets in exchange for a second-round pick in 2026 and wide receiver Alan Lazard. This potential trade could have seismic implications, not just for the Falcons but also for the Jets, and it's igniting discussions everywhere about what's next for these franchises. Right now, the Falcons are sitting at a 3-2 record, which isn't bad, but if you've been watching the games, you know they've underperformed relative to expectations. They've got talent, a solid roster, but sometimes it just isn't clicking. The offense has struggled at times, and the quarterback situation has been a point of contention. Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson, these players have shown flashes, but consistency has been elusive. With Cousins potentially on his way out, the Falcons could be shifting their focus to a different path, one that leans heavily on developing Michael Penix Jr., especially after Mooney's shoulder injury in Monday Night Football, which has put him out for a while. Let's take a moment here to talk about Kirk Cousins, because he's a player who's been often underrated but consistently effective throughout his career. Drafted back in 2012 from Michigan State, Cousins has had a career that's been full of ups and downs, but also marked by some impressive statistics and performances. He's been to the Pro Bowl multiple times, from 2019 through 2022, and has always been considered a top-tier quarterback when healthy. His 2025 season so far is pretty solid, around 400 passing yards, which ranks him around 15th in the league, with 8 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. His completion percentage hovers around 64%, and his QBR is roughly 58. 2, showing he's capable of making smart decisions and leading drives. His yards per attempt, roughly 7-8, place him in the upper tier of quarterbacks, especially when it comes to deep throws with a deep completion percentage of 45%, which is well above average and puts him in the top 15. Now, these numbers might not jump off the page for some, but when you analyze his play style and consistency, Cousins brings a lot to the table. He's a pocket passer with a quick release, good pocket presence. In fact, his time to throw is around 2.6 seconds, similar to some of the best in the league. His career total of over 42.0 passing yards and nearly 280 touchdowns speaks volumes about his durability and ability to produce. Even with injuries like the Achilles recovery in 2024 and a lingering ankle issue in 2025 that cost him a game, he's shown resilience and professionalism. And for the Falcons, bringing in a guy with his experience and skill set could be exactly what they need to push into the postseason. But here's the thing, the Falcons are in a tricky spot financially. They're not heavy favorites to make the playoffs right now, with odds around plus 5,000 in the NFC South, which shows some skepticism about their chances. The team needs cap space to address some key areas, especially to invest in rookies like Michael Penix Jr., who could be a long-term solution at quarterback. Trading Cousins in this scenario not only frees up cap space, but also allows Atlanta to focus on building around Penix, who has shown promise and could develop into a franchise quarterback of the future. The risk, of course, is that losing Cousins might impact the offense's efficiency. A drop of around 15% in EPA per pass, similar to what the Vikings experienced after trading him. It's a rebuild with uncertainties, especially considering the Falcons' defense, which has been middle of the road, ranking around 15th in points allowed, with about 22 per game. Now looking at the other side, the New York Jets, who are currently 0-5 and clearly in a sell mode, are seizing an opportunity to bring in a veteran quarterback to compete with Aaron Rodgers, who's been sidelined for most of the season due to injury. The Jets, with a cap space around $12 million, are trying to bolster their roster quickly. Cousins could be that guy to stabilize the position, and the projections for him in New York are intriguing. If he becomes the starter, he's expected to throw around 500 yards with about 22 touchdowns, boosting their passing game from a dismal 200 yards per game, which ranks 28th, up to roughly 250 yards. His expected EPA per dropback is plus 0.10, which is significantly better than Rodgers's 5, and that could translate into a more efficient offense. Breece Hall, who's already made an impact with around 400 rushing yards early in the season, will benefit from a more competent passing attack, and the Jets could see an increase of around 12 explosive plays per game. This potential move is not just about adding a quarterback, it's about a strategic shift for the Jets. Cousins, with his experience and proven production, could be the X factor in their quest to become playoff contenders again. The odds of them winning the Super Bowl have skyrocketed from plus 15, 0 to plus 5, 0, and they're now considered serious AFC contenders, around plus 600. The trade could spark a resurgence, especially with the Jets' defense and coaching staff looking to maximize their window of opportunity. Cousins' game, with his ability to perform under pressure and his accuracy in the red zone, could be the missing piece for Gang Green. So what does all this mean for the Falcons? Well, if they do go through with this trade, it's a calculated gamble. They're betting on their ability to develop Penix and build a more sustainable, long-term offensive core. It's a move that's aligned with a potential rebuild, especially if they're not fully sold on their current roster's ability to contend this season. But it's also a statement, showing that they're willing to make bold moves, that they're not afraid to shake things up to try to elevate their franchise. The Falcons have historically been a team that's built through the draft and smart signings. But in today's NFL, sometimes a trade like this can be the catalyst for a new era. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster trade? Do you think Kirk Cousins is the right guy to lead your team into the playoffs or beyond? Or do you believe the Falcons should stick with their current plan and focus on developing Penix? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and all the latest news from around the NFL. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, go Falcons.